Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us on today's webinar. Today's webinar, basically, Eric has been gracious enough to share with us, and he'll be sharing about how to add emotions to your marketing kit, or the role it plays, rather. As you guys can see, he's on a tight schedule, but he's done very well. So thank you very much, Eric, for accepting. um, Afterwards, after Eric, then we'll have Zainab come on. Zainab um, leads our SME business, SME growth business. So she'll come and talk about all the things you can do with Flutterwave. And if you have any questions, that'll be the best time to ask her. But for now, I'll hand over to Eric so that we can kick off right away.
Now, one of the critical things about consumer behavior is that we buy with emotions and then we justify with logic. I'm very sure each time we buy a product or we experience a service and we are asked why we decided to purchase that particular product, a lot of us will give logical explanations for it. But research has shown that it is much deeper than that. It goes beyond logic. It goes beyond what we profess to be the reasons we buy certain products or we experience certain services. So keep this in mind as we go on, that the majority of consumers or as human beings, we buy first with emotions and then we justify with logic. Okay, so let's look at some research. The first one is from a Harvard Business School professor who did some research on consumer behavior and why people purchase the products they purchase. Now, one of the interesting thing that came out of that research is that 95% of all purchase decisions are subconscious. Now, this is quite surprising because we all like to think that we make rational decisions. Economics teaches us that human beings make rational decisions. But the research is proving otherwise, that close to 95% of our purchase decisions are subconscious, which means if we are not finding a way to connect with the subconscious mind of the consumer, we are losing out. Okay, another one from Peter Murray, who is the author of Inside the Mind of a Consumer, says that when evaluating brands, consumers use primarily emotions, that is personal feelings and experiences. Okay, personal feelings and experience. So please keep this in mind as well. And then the third one says that emotions don't hinder decisions. They constitute the foundation on which they are made. So countless research shows that not just purchase decisions, but our decisions as human beings generally, we tend to be more emotional about it. We tend to take an emotional approach to making decisions. Okay, so let's look at some further research. So advertising research reveals that a consumer's emotional response to an advert or an ad has far more greater influence on their reported intent to buy a product than the content of the ad itself. Now, this is interesting because when we are doing advertising or when we are advertising our product, some of us tend to take a product-centric approach where we look at the features of the product, we make sure that the models we're using are on point and all of that. But research shows that the emotional response of consumers to the ad actually has more influence on their decision to purchase than the content of the ad itself. And when it comes to TV, that is by a factor of 3 to 1. So this is quite interesting. So the research is telling us that emotions have kind of a disproportionate influence on our purchase decisions, which means as marketers or as business leaders, as business owners, we should be looking at connecting with our consumers at the emotional level. Okay, now let me illustrate this with some few adverts. So what I want us to do is to pay attention to these ads, and after that I'll ask a few questions, and then we can look at answering. Okay, so the first one is an ad from Thailand. I'm not going to tell you which product, so I'll let you watch it, and then after that we can talk about this. Some of you probably have seen it before, but if you haven't, please pay attention to the ad.
เขาจะได้อะไรถ้าเขาทำแบบนี้ทุกวันเขาจะไม่ได้อะไรเลยไม่ได้รวยขึ้นไม่ได้ออกทีวีไม่มีใครรู้จักไม่ได้มีชื่อเสียงที่มากขึ้นเพราะสิ่งที่เขาได้คือได้แค่ความรู้สึกได้เห็นความสุขได้เข้าใจได้ความรักได้ในสิ่งที่เงินซื้อไม่ได้ได้โลกที่สวยงามกว่าเดิมในชีวิตคุณอะไรคือสิ่งที่คุณต้องการมากที่สุด
ไทยประกันชีวิตเชื่อในความดี
Okay, so this is an insurance ad, and from the beginning it's very difficult to even think about it as an insurance ad, but at the end of the ad you understand why the company took that angle to their advertising, because their tagline or their brand promise is believe in good. So keep this in mind. We'll watch the second one, and then after that I'll ask the questions.
Hi.
Hi there, are you Cindy?
Yeah, and
Hi, I'm Bonnie. I'm from Teleflora. I have a special delivery from your son Ryan that he really wants you to see.
oh my gosh.
Hi, Mom. Happy Mother's Day. I wanted to let you know how much I love you, and I appreciate everything that you've done for me in my life.
The distance between us isn't always easy. It's actually pretty hard sometimes. I still remember the last time we saw each other. It was almost 2 years ago. I was passing through San Diego on my way out to Japan, and you drove 2 hours just to sit down and have coffee with me for 45 minutes. just discussing what's going on in our lives before I had to get on my flight and continue on. I miss you. It's been hard. Growing up, it was just the two of us. You had all the responsibility of raising a young boy into a man that you could be proud of. You gave me so much. I didn't know how much you sacrificed until I was an adult at college, and I learned that you had a dream to become a professional athlete, and then you got pregnant with me and you had to choose. You knew you couldn't do both, and you gave it up to raise me the best way that you knew how. And you instilled in me that sacrifice and that dedication, and you gave me everything that you had. I realized how hard it was, and thank you very much. The discipline, the love, the support, the understanding that you gave me. I think of all the things that you did for me. I look at my children. If I can just do half of what you did, they would be so much better off. You were a guiding light for me, and I've taken everything that you've given me, and I've run with it. Because of you, I stand here today, a father, a husband, a Navy commander, and it's because of you. You showed me how to work and not quit, and have honor, have integrity. I've achieved all these things because of the foundation that you laid, the example that you led. You always said the reward for hard work well done is the opportunity to do more. Well, you're right. I've done well in the Navy, and I got more hard work ahead of me. And I think it's going to be even harder to see each other. And that's why I wanted to make this Mother's Day so truly special. Above all, Mom, I hope when you look at me, you see the good man that you wanted your little boy to be. I'm proud to call you my mother. I'm proud to be your son. You made me the man that I am today. And I love you with all my heart.
So this is an ad for a flower company, a company that sells flowers. And I have a confession. The first time I watched this, I actually cried. And I don't know about you, but if I ever find myself anywhere near these guys, I'm definitely buying a flower from them. So when we come to the tips, you will understand some of these things. But you see that it's a long ad, but because it tells a story, because it's about something that we can all, or most people can relate to, in terms of love for mother, it really gets your attention. And what is interesting is the manner in which they position the product. Okay, so I think for a lot of us marketers and for a lot of us business owners, the reason we tend to focus on our product features and be product centric is because it's tangible. It's what we see every day. It's what we believe our consumers would love. But I mean, let me ask this question: If you watch this ad, are you likely to buy a flower from these guys? If you can give me your opinion, does this ad make you more likely to buy a flower from these guys? If not, please say it. I would really want an opinion that says no. I don't think it's it actually pushes me, or it gives me, it gives me that intent to buy. Any opinion? Because the thing is, you don't even see the product until the end. And it seems very counterintuitive, because we always tend to make our products the hero. Okay, in our marketing, in our communication with consumers, I've worked in the banking industry, in financial services, and it's very pronounced in the financial services industry, because we're always thinking about this product has an interest rate that is something more than our competitors and the rest. Okay, but whilst we are doing that, we are missing out on 95% of what influences purchase decisions, or what influences customers' choice between brands. Okay, so I'll show the last ad. This is from South Africa, and then we will jump into the tips.
Evening.
Evening.
May I ring that up for you?
Yes, please.
Have a good evening.
Repeat after me. A.
A.
Then B. And C.
C.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
No, not good. Not good.
Just the sounds that words make.
Cat, dog,
Calamari.
trash, on the beach.
Good.
Farm, fresh. My son and I mowed the grass.
That's a gold star. Unbelievable.
Dad.
Hey, Tubbs, I read your book.
You read my book?
Mm-hmm.
Barman, give that man a bell.
Okay, so this is the story of a father who decides to take an illiterate father who decides to take reading classes so that he could read his son's book. Again, look at the placement of the product and how they weave the product seamlessly into a very emotional story. Okay, now, like I said, keep the art in mind. We'll come back to it. So let's get into some hard facts. So according to research again by the Harvard Business Review, the feelings that drive consumer behavior are called emotional motivators. Okay, and they identified over 300 emotions which influence purchase decisions. But they looked at 10 which has significant impact on the value that customers bring to us. So we are going to briefly go through these 10. This could be our starting point when it comes to our marketing. Okay, so the first one is standing out from the crowd. And the way to use that is that you can project a unique social identity or be seen as special. Be seen as special. Case in point, Apple. Everything that they do, those of us who have worked in agencies, the guys who use MacBook products and the rest, they feel like they are on top of the world. Okay? the second one is have confidence in the future. Third one is enjoy a sense of well-being. Enjoy a sense of well-being, feel a sense of freedom, and feel a sense of thrill. Feel a sense of thrill. So these are some of the emotions that influence consumer behavior the most. And what we are saying is, if you want to really get your brand to engage with consumers, you need to focus on these ones. Okay, you need to focus on this. Could be a starting point for you. The third, the other five is feel a sense of belonging, protect the environment, be the person I want to be, feel secure and succeed in life. Okay, so as a starting point, we could decide where we want our brand to play. Where do we want our brand to play? So for example, if you're a brand that, if you decide that you're going to be the brand that makes people be the people that they want to be, the way to go about it is to fulfill a desire for ongoing improvement and then live up to their ideal self-image. Right, so all of these things are good and nice, but what is the business sense in focusing on emotions? Okay, what is the business sense? Does it make business sense to focus on emotions? Again, this is research. I like the Harvard Business Review a lot. This is research done by Harvard. And if you look at the middle, if you look at the graph, consumers that are not fully connected, actually there's a negative influence on the bottom line. Now, the yellow one, highly satisfied but not fully connected, and that is where a lot of us focus on. We want to focus on satisfied customers. Satisfied customers, according to the research, just do enough. Okay, they just do enough to make you break even. Now, what you need to do is to move these customers to the third and fourth stages. You want them to perceive brand differentiation, and you want them to be fully connected. Now, if you look at the fully connected, so they are fully connected in terms of there's an emotional attachment to the brand. Those guys have, a disproportionate influence on the bottom line. It says that fully connected across a sample of 9 categories, fully connected customers are 52% more valuable on average than those who are just highly satisfied. So I have a saying that if you can perform at 10 and you are performing at 8, it is still not good enough. So a lot of us are making money, our businesses are growing, our companies are growing, but our customers are just satisfied and they see us as different. But if we get them to be fully emotionally connected, the impact is exponential, as you can see from this research. On the right hand side, it looks at the categories. Okay, and some of them have as much as over 100%. Those customers are over 100% more valuable than customers who are just satisfied or who just see us as different. Okay, so it makes business sense. It makes business sense to be able to connect with customers and your consumers emotionally. Okay, a lot of us may not have the resources to do advertising like we saw previously, but you can take a touch point approach. At each touch point, how can I connect with my consumers emotionally? How can I speak their language? Okay. Now there's a model that I believe can help us. And it was developed by a marketing agency in the US called MBLM. And it has six major things that you can do. So the first one is fulfillment. Basically, you need to make sure you are delivering superior service. That is the start. Make sure you're delivering superior service. The second stage is identity. Reflect an aspirational image. Reflect an aspirational image. Brands that make us want to be better than ourselves or aspire to something bigger actually influence us more. Enhancement. You can let customers become better through the use of the brand. That is, they become smarter, they become more capable, they become more connected. During the COVID period, a lot of financial institutions have taken to thought leadership. Okay, and this was not the case previously, but the changes that have come means that you need to give more to customers. So create a close relationship centered around moments of pampering and gratification. As a brand, you can also make your customers, you can also get that deep desire within us to indulge ourselves. Nostalgia is also very important. I remember I did a project for Nokia where we wanted to focus on nostalgia, especially in Ghana. I personally remember my first phone was a 3310, a Nokia 3310, and it was a very good phone. You can hit on the you can hit it on the floor. You put everything back in, and it starts working. The battery would last forever. So those nostalgic feelings, and then ritual, ingraining a brand into the daily actions of consumers. The brand becomes a vitally important part of their daily existence. And this ritual thing, you can use it for a lot of us will know Pepsodent. Pepsodent is part of our daily lives. Close Up has become part of our daily lives. Okay, so this is a model that we can use when we want to connect with our consumers. Now let's look at some final tips. The first one is get the basics right. So this is from my personal experience. Your brand strategy. When you're developing your brand strategy, there are a lot of things that you need to do. Your brand, define your brand values, and all of that. But I personally believe that two things influence our ability to connect emotion that we saw. The tagline of the company was "Believe in Good." Believe in good. And it clearly shows how that has influenced their advertising. If you take a brand like Harley Davidson, their brand personality is so strong and it's very, very clear. If you decide that you want to be a daring brand, or your brand is a daring brand, it means every communication, every touch point, whatever you do, should communicate that brand personality. Because your brand personality is the most human side of your brand. And it tends to connect with consumers more quickly and easier. The basic brand personality or your brand tagline or promise. The second one is show concern and respect. Customers always want to know that you care about them and not just their money. And it will surprise you how many brands don't weave this into their existence. So if you've ever taken a loan from a bank, it gets to a point, it feels like the bank is doing you a favor. So you need to take everything that comes from them. Okay? They don't show concern and respect. And that is one of the ways to connect emotionally with your consumers. But some banks, I don't know about Nigeria, but some banks in Ghana about their money, but about their lives as well. The third one is be consistent. Brand building and developing strong connections with consumers takes time. It takes time. Inconsistency is the bane of connecting with consumers. Inconsistency across touch points. Inconsistency in communication. If I walk into your banking hall, if I walk into your organization and I don't feel that vibe that I felt in your ad on radio or on TV, there's some inconsistency there. And this is not an idea wonder. It takes a long time to be able to do these things. So please be consistent and recognize that it will take some time. Always focus on the human side. It does not matter your product or service. Focus on the human emotions behind it. Okay, there's an example of a company called Charles Schwab. Because of time, I'm not going to be able to play that ad, but I believe we'll send the presentation around. So Charles Schwab is an investment firm, and what they've been able to do is that their brand promise or their tagline is "Own Your Tomorrow," and they've been able to build that concept around investment and to focus on the human side of that of that product. But when you are investing, you are actually owning your future. Okay, so always focus on whether you sell jollof rice. Okay, if it's tasty, it gives something beyond the taste to the customer. Whatever you sell, whatever product you sell, focus on the human side. And we're not saying that it is only emotions that influence purchase decision. But what we are saying is that it has a disproportionate amount of influence on purchase decisions. So if you're not focusing on emotions, or if you're not spending a lot more time on emotions, you are missing out. Okay, so I'll skip this. The third one is tell a story. All the ads that we saw, from the guy who presented a flower to his mom and the rest, all of that is a story. Okay, tell your own story, and also listen to your customer stories as well. Some of us are founders who are more interested in winning awards and the rest than using those things to tell the story of our brand. If you're a founder of a company, you must have gone through something. Everybody has gone through something. So it is important that you own that story and you use that story to connect with your customers. Focus on all touch points. Okay, connecting with your customers goes beyond advertising. Take a touch points perspective. Focus on all touch points. It doesn't matter whether it's your advertising, whether it's your banking hall, your shop floor, whatever it is. It is an opportunity for you to connect emotionally with your customers. So focus on all touch points. Thank you very much. I believe the next time I won't be presenting from the back of a car and I'll be less distracted. But if you have any questions, please let me know and I will address them. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Eric. Thank you. So, like he's just said, this time to ask him questions on anything. I think I'll allow Catherine talk. Your hand is up. Hello, Catherine. Hello. All right, let me. Victor Prince Dixon.
I think they can type as well. So
okay. Somebody said I missed out on the early part. Please, can you give a quick summary of the early parts?
I think the early part, what we did was we looked at some research on the influence of emotions on purchase decisions, and we realized that some of the research that has come up shows that about 95% of all purchase decisions are subconscious, and that when evaluating brands, consumers tend to primarily use their emotions. So essentially what we are saying is emotions are not the only thing. They are not the only things that influence purchase decisions. But if you are not focusing on emotions, you are missing out on a chunk of what influences consumer purchase decisions. Okay, and so we just wanted to, and we illustrated with some advertising. So that was essentially a summary of the beginning. Just some research to buttress the point that if you're not focusing on emotions, you are missing out.
All right. Are there any other questions? Let me see. Somebody's asking.
Okay.
What point you try to make with the slide about fulfillment and all?
Okay, so that is an intimacy, a brand intimacy model to start with, in the sense that we may not have, like I said, we may not have the budget to do big advertising campaigns and the rest. Okay, so what are some of the things that you can focus on? So it's called the brand intimacy model. So you can focus on, for example, fulfillment. That is essentially make sure you are doing what you said you would do. Okay, so it's a model that you can apply immediately. Okay, on a tight budget, to connect at that level with your customers.
All right. Somebody else is asking, when you said tell your stories, these stories in with your business? I'm guessing, is this story with your business or stories about yourself? I don't know.
Okay, so what I was saying is that especially when it comes to entrepreneurs, we all have a story with founding our companies, and these stories can influence the kind of brand that we build. Okay, it can influence the kind of brand that we build. All right, so what I was saying was that if you're telling your story, either tell the story of your brand or tell the story about yourself. Okay, because sometimes our stories tend to influence, our personal stories tend to influence our customers even more than the stories of our products and stuff like that. For example, a lot of us are crazy about Steve Jobs, for example, and that is why some of us will choose Apple products. Yeah, so telling your story means what you've been through. If it applies to your brand, that works perfectly.
Thank you, Eric. I think the person asking about fulfillment is still asking. So if you can switch to that slide and just go over it a little. And then they're also asking, should they copy an international advert storyline and adapt it for your own products?
Well, so not necessarily. I mean, these were just to show how emotions have been used. So let me give you an example from Africa. Now, if you're a brand in Africa and you cannot plug into that whole Africans developing Africa concept, you are missing out, because for younger people in Africa, we've now become very self-conscious. We believe, a lot of us believe in Africa, in the future of Africa. So that is something that we could also tap into as well. But the adverts were just to show you that marketing and advertising and communication is not just about your product. Okay, it's not just about the features of your product. Okay, so a flower company, for example, uses that emotional way of communicating with their customers by tapping into that whole mother and son relationship. All right, let me move to the brand intimacy model. So as marketing people, we have models, things like SWOT analysis and stuff like that. Okay, these are models to help us think about how to approach certain things. So this brand intimacy model is something to get you started in connecting with customers. So either a combination of some of these, or you can choose the one that works for you. Okay, maybe you want to build your brand around nostalgia. What should you focus on? Okay, so this is, like I said, a lot of us don't have the budget to be doing everything that a big company will be doing. So this is a way to get us started. The other thing I can do is that when I'm sharing this, since the brand intimacy model seems to be an issue, when I'm sharing this, I will actually explain more in another slide so that we can understand it.
All right, thank you, Eric. So someone is asking, please, can you throw more light on brand personality and tagline?
Okay, so brand personality, like I said, the brand personality is the human side of a brand. Okay, there are some brands you can call arrogant. There are some brands you can call calm. So the brand personality is, if your brand was a human being, what kind of personality would that person have? Okay, so the tagline bit, I think we see that in advertising a lot, but let me give you an example. There's a bank in Ghana called CBG. Their tagline is, "We stand with you." And during the COVID period, it worked perfectly for them because they showed how they stand with their customers. They showed how they are going through the COVID period with the general public. They were doing all their CSR, and the rest was centered around the fact that they stand with you, they are in this with you together. Okay, and the very first ad we saw, the tagline of the company was, "Believe in God." And you could see that in their advertising, that it was about the person doing good, the hero of the movie, of the ad doing good, making an impact on the lives of ordinary people. Okay, so the brand personality is, if the person was a human being, if your brand was human, how would that person behave? Would it be an arrogant brand? Would it be a calm brand? Would it be a daring brand or a daring person? Let me put it that way. Okay.
Thank you, Eric.
Can I take the last one so I can?
Okay, let's run through this quickly. So somebody is asking, how do you increase the value your customers bring? Says, I saw 35% for consumer banking products according to the Harvard research.
Okay, so I think that's what we are trying to get to. That those guys, consumers who are fully connected, who are very emotionally connected to your brand, in the financial sector, they are 35% more valuable. So the way to do it is some of these things, like get the basics right, your brand personality right, your promise and tagline right, consistency, and that is a problem with a lot of smaller companies. If you take Nike, for example, they've been true to their brand promise, they've been true to their way of communicating for years. So you need that consistency. Okay, so the way to increase that value is through some of these basic tips.
All right, we just have one more question. I guess we just ask that, and that's it. So somebody said, using MTN as an example, they can't reach all their customers individually. How can emotions pass to customers for startup company that is in the same industry with MTN, knowing that the company doesn't have enough money to run charity events?
Yeah. So that's actually an interesting question, and this one we need a whole presentation on it. How to connect emotionally on a tight budget. But off the top of my head, a smaller company tends to actually have very personal relationships with, or they tend to get into contact with customers more at the personal level. Okay, because customers come into your shop more, customers speak to you more, customers call you more. So what I can say off the top is that take a touch point approach. Where are your customers interacting with you? First of all. And the places they are interacting with you, how can you connect with them? If they are coming to your shop, if they are calling you on phone, how do you go about it? Okay, so the initial thing is take a touch point approach. If you don't know where your customers are interacting with you, you will not know how to connect with them.
Thank you very much, Eric. That was a very good answer. Thank you. The person
thank you as well.
The same thing. Just asking one last question. How do we connect with you for more learning or mentorship or tutelage?
Also, I'll share my email. My email is Eric F. Amponsah at outlook.com. So I'll share with the Flutterwave team, and then they can share with you, so you can get in touch with me. I'll be very happy to speak to you.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. We know you have to run now.
Thank you. Yeah.
We really do appreciate your time today. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you too. Thank you too.
All right.
All right.
So thank you guys for being with us so far. If you have any more marketing questions, you can still ask them, and we'll send them over to Eric to answer. Or we can even take a stab at it. Some of us work in marketing here. Next up right now will be Zainab. So Zainab leads our growth team for the SME business. So if you are within the SME space, what she's about to present is very important to you, and you should also something else to think about actually is this. So Eric was talking about brand personality and things like that. I'll give you a very simple example about how knowing the right tools can help you. So for instance, with Flutterwave, we have something we call subscription payments. Zainab will explain more later. But basically, it's a system where people pay for something gradually. Now, imagine your brand is or what you're trying to do is trying to help people. If you want to help people and be more affordable, then maybe some of your stuff people need to buy your stuff on installments and pay gradually. And normally, there's no way you can go and, go to their house, or they send you money to your bank account and say, oh, you've sent this month, you haven't sent next month, and all of that. But with a tool like what we have, you are able to have people come in, put in their card details, and then at the specified time, it will debit them until they're done paying. So you put the amount that they'll be done paying, they agree, and you do that. So that's just one way technology from a company like Flutterwave can help your business grow and help your brand. So please pay attention to Zainab's presentation. She's going to have a lot of things to teach. And if you have any questions, save it towards the end. She will still answer questions on how Flutterwave works and how you can make the best of Flutterwave. Zainab, over to you.
Thank you, Dikachim. Hi, everyone. Good morning. Very quickly, I'm just going to share my screen and then take us through some of the initiatives that Flutterwave has put together for business owners. Let me just go ahead and share my screen. Okay, I hope everyone can see my screen now. Okay. Right. I'm just going to go straight up to what we have for business owners. The first is this webinar, the Grow My Business webinar. So basically this webinar is put together to help business owners scale their business. We understand that there's been a lot of shake-up happen recently, especially as a result of COVID-19, the pandemic. A lot of businesses had to shut down. So we've put together this webinar, which holds every 2 weeks on a Monday by 10 a.m. West African time. And the webinar is basically just aimed at getting industry experts to come speak to us about some of the things that business owners can do to ensure that they keep their businesses open and also scale, grow their business, even during the pandemic and also post-COVID. The speaker that we just had is one of such industry leaders, industry experts. We have a series of other people come talk to us. I think 2 Mondays ago, we had somebody from Visa, and those kind of engagement is what we have. So if you know of any business owner, please let them know that they can take advantage of this webinar, which happens every Monday, every 2 Mondays. It's very straightforward. Just follow all of our social media handles to see when the next one is coming up, and then you can quickly register for the next one. Another initiative we've put together for business owners is we've partnered with Google to provide free listing of businesses on Google My Business. So Google My Business basically is a tool that allows businesses showcase specific details about what it is that they have to offer. So if you sell, children's clothes, for example, and you have a listing on Google My Business, anyone who goes to Google to do a search on children's clothing, they don't even necessarily need to put your specific business name, but once they do a search on children's clothing, maybe within Lagos, then your business will be among those that would pop up on that Google search. So we've partnered with Google to provide this for free. It's absolutely free for every Flutterwave account holder. To take advantage, all you need to do is click on the link that will be shared with all participants. I think before close of business on Wednesday, you get an email that will contain this link for free listing on Google My Business. The email would also contain the link to watch this webinar that just happened, for those of us especially that probably were not able to attend or join late. So you'll be able to watch the webinar in detail, and then you can also sign up for free listing on Google My Business. So once you click on the link, you get a call from a Google representative who would then put you through what you need to do to take advantage. Another initiative we've come up with is the Visa Dealathon. So in this case, we've partnered with Visa to provide a 10% discount to every Visa card holder who shops on selected Flutterwave store merchants website. So we have a list where you can go and see the list of all Flutterwave store merchants who are participating in this dealathon. And if you have a Visa card and you shop on those sites, you get 10% discount. So this is just what we've put together to allow our business owners grow, provide visibility for their business, and also ensure that they're properly equipped with all that they need to have to make sure their businesses stay open this period. So I'll just go straight up into the most recent of our initiatives, which a lot of people have probably heard about. It's called the Flutterwave Store. Now, a Flutterwave Store, it's simply the best and easiest way to launch and manage an e-commerce business. What this means is if you today are selling maybe on Instagram, or you have a physical location where you sell your goods, with Flutterwave Store, it allows you to pivot that business to an online business with as little requirements as possible, right? So it's very simple, it's very straightforward. You can do this yourself in a matter of minutes. All you need to do is create a Flutterwave account, and then you create your Flutterwave store. You upload images of all the products that you have to sell, put in the product descriptor, so things like the quantity, the size, the amount, and all of that. And then once you're done, you just create your store, and you can now publish your store link on social media, or you can send it, as an email broadcast to your mailing list. You can also send it, as a WhatsApp broadcast to your customers. So however way you currently engage with your customers, you can do that using the Flutterwave store link. Just think of it as a mini website. So with the Flutterwave store, customers can directly buy from you. They can purchase items, and then it's just like you're shopping on an e-commerce website, right? You go to your Flutterwave store, you select all the things you want to buy, you add it to a cart, and then you click on checkout. Once you click on checkout, you're provided with the option to put in your delivery details, other information as required by the seller. So things like your phone number, your email address, all those details are captured. And then you just click on pay. So you have multiple payment options provided as well. You can pay with your card, you can pay with bank transfer, you can pay with USSD, right? So all payment options are provided, because of course people are used to different types of making and receiving payments. So for example, if you have customers that are already used to doing bank transfers, perfect for them. Pay with bank transfer is one of the options on the Flutterwave payment gateway. If you have customers that are used to paying with cards, then pay with card is also an available option. And it's particularly interesting because the pay with card option allows you receive payments with both local and international cards. So this is perfect for those customers that have their own customers outside of Nigeria. So, a lot of people deal in like organic skincare, African prints, African fabrics, and you see that a lot of people outside of the country are interested in buying those products. So when it comes to receiving payment, then you hit a snag. But with the Flutterwave store, that takes care of that for you. So with the pay with card option, it allows people that have foreign bank cards also to make payments to you. And then once those payments are successful, you get a notification of a successful payment. You can also see details of that payment on your Flutterwave dashboard, which provides you access to see everything going on your store. So why you need the Flutterwave store? Like I said earlier, there's no website required. All product listing is done. It allows you include various descriptions such as image, size, quantity, and all of that. Inventory management, another very important one for business owners, because what you have is a lot of people just buy stuff, in large numbers, and then especially if it's something that has high demand, you just have people buying. So every time you want to make a sale, you have to go and confirm whether there's available stock. But with this Flutterwave store, it takes care of that for you, because at the point of setup of your store, you put in the quantity of each item, and then as people are buying, the number gets depleted. Of course, when the number is getting low, you'd get a notification to let you know that you're running low on stock. So that helps you with your inventory management system. I mentioned earlier that we have multiple payment options, so bank transfer, pay with card, USSD, all available. You don't need a website developer. You don't need to have any technical expertise. It's very, very simple to set up. I also mentioned that it accepts local and international cards. So this is perfect for every seller today who has customers maybe outside of Nigeria. Then you need to be on the Flutterwave store. You also, because we as a forward-thinking organization, we don't just want you to come on board Flutterwave store and then that's the end of it. So we're constantly engaging to see how we can help you push your business. I don't know how many of us watched the just concluded BB Niger. If you had watched it, you noticed that some of those Flutterwave merchants, we did free advertisement for them on BB Niger. So, and since we did that, there's been huge increase in their sales. So it's just some of the things that we do for our businesses. So this Visa Dealathon is also another part of the initiative that we've put together just to help our merchants grow. So that 10% discount is not borne by the merchants, it's borne by Flutterwave and Visa. So it's just some of the initiatives that we've put together. We do mass marketing campaigns, we do advertisement for these merchants that sign up on Flutterwave store, just to ensure that we are able to drive traffic to their stores and ensure that they're transacting and their business is growing. So it's not just, it goes beyond just providing you with a payment gateway, right? We're an end-to-end payment processing partner. So we're there to ensure that not only are you able to receive this payment seamlessly, but we also help you drive traffic to your business and thereby increasing sales and transactions. So very important to note is for every payment done on the Flutterwave platform, the merchants as person selling gets an electronic receipt sent to their email. The person buying also gets an electronic receipt sent to their email. The beauty about this is with that electronic transaction, you have further details about your customer. So imagine you have just a physical location, a customer walks into that location and buys, a pair of shoes, for example. That's just the end of that transaction. Chances are you probably don't even know that customer's name. You don't know anything about the customer. You don't have the customer's number. You don't know anything about the customer. And so that's the end of that transaction. How then do you follow through if you have maybe new products, right? How then do you follow through if you are giving like a discount? So that's where, an e-commerce presence is vital for business owners, because with this Flutterwave store, not only do you know the name of a customer, you have the customer's email address, you have customer's phone number, you know where the customer lives, like in the area where the customer lives based on the delivery details. So what can you do with that information? You can engage further, right? It's customer analytics. You can find out, okay, so I noticed this customer bought a pair of red River Island shoes, just as an example, and you as a business owner, you stocked maybe green of that same brand. You can send an email or a text message to the customer letting them know, okay, we noticed that you bought XYZ the last time. Guess what? We have new in the same brand you might like, and you send pictures, those kind of things. It makes you closer to your customer. You're able to engage further, and then that of course translates to more sales. So this is just one of the advantages of being on Flutterwave store. It provides you with very detailed customer analytics. So beyond just information about your customer, you see details of when you have more sales. So for example, on the Flutterwave dashboard, you are able to see whether you have more sales on a Monday or over the weekend, just as an example. So if you see, for example, you have more sales happening on the weekend, then as a business owner, you can now use that information to make intelligent decisions about the kind of sales you want to have. So for example, you can have a weekend flash sales because that's when more of your customers are online and ready to shop, right? So all that information is most likely not available if you're just selling and buying on Instagram, or you have just a physical location where people walk into to buy. So these are just some of the advantages of pivoting your business online. The Flutterwave store is available for every business owner. As long as you're into a legitimate business, you can be on Flutterwave store. It's absolutely free. We don't charge you to come on board the Flutterwave store. However, there are transaction charges, which is the standard 1.4%, capped at 2,000 Naira for local cards, and then 3.8% with no cap for international cards. So I'm just going to very quickly show us a short video of how quick and easy it is to actually set up a Flutterwave store. I know I've been talking about it, but don't just take my word for it. Just go ahead and watch this short video. I hope everyone can still see my screen.
Path to success in your online business look like? What are the ingredients needed to succeed in selling online? Here's the obvious hint. You need the Flutterwave store. Here are the ingredients you need to succeed. Great product images, responsive layout, default payments integration, instant notifications, fast checkout, and even delivery. If you have no coding skills or knowledge, you're just as welcome because the Flutterwave store doesn't require any. You can create a store for your business for free and start selling in 5 minutes or less. Step 1. Visit www.flutterwave.com/store and click on Set up your store for free. Step 2. Complete the sign-up form and click Get Started. Step 3. Check your email inbox for verification mail and click on the link. Select how you want to accept payments. Step 4. Click on Store in the side menu of your admin panel, fill in the details, and take it online. Step 5. Add products and start selling. Create your own online store today and receive payments from around the world. The Flutterwave store. Just sign up, list, and sell. It's that easy. What does the path?
All right, so that's a short video just showing us how quick and easy it is to sign up on your Flutterwave store. This is an existing Flutterwave store. The merchant is Lux by Nature Cosmetics. So this is what it looks like. You can actually upload more than one image per product. I think you can upload up to 3 images per product, right? And then, you know, beauty about this again is, imagine this customer puts this link on her social media page. Customers can just go there. Serious customers obviously will just go there, click on the link. When they click on the link, this is what they see. So things like, oh, how much is this, how much is that, and all that, what do they do, all that is taken care of for you as a seller, right? The customer just needs to click on any of the products they're interested in, and then they see details about that product. So a short description is here, and then if the customer wants to buy, they just put the quantity they want and then add it to their cart, right? And then the customer is able to pay for that particular product. So you just come to your cart, just the same way you shop on an e-commerce site. You confirm everything is in order, you click on continue, and then you put in all your details here. Once you do that, you click on pay, and then multiple payment options would be displayed for you to make a payment. So yep, that's it for me. In summary, that's those are the initiatives that we have for business owners at this time from Flutterwave. So I can take questions now. Dikachim, any questions?
Yeah, so there's one already. The question is, can we list a service on the Flutterwave store?
So yes, however, just like Dikachi mentioned earlier, there are other tools that we have on the Flutterwave platform that would probably be better suited for services, you know. So Payment Link is one of those tools. Payment Link is, you have a service you're offering, you create a payment link for that service, and then you share the link for your customer to pay you directly. The idea behind the Flutterwave store is primarily for products, right? Because you're putting things like the size, the amount, the color, all of that, right? And you're putting a picture of the product that you're selling. So for a service, for example, what sort of image are you going to put up, right? You might have an e-flyer, but does that really speak to the service that you're offering? So the answer is yes. However, the ideal solution for services is for you to generate a payment link and share that link with your customer, just like Dikachi mentioned earlier.
Right. Someone says, please elaborate on the delivery system which you mentioned is available.
So for delivery system, we have a delivery partner at the moment. How that works is just the page I showed you now. Once you put in all those details, your name, your delivery address, and all of that, the delivery company would automatically calculate how much that would be, and then the delivery fee is displayed on the screen, right? And then the customer, assuming what you're buying is 10,000 and delivery is 1,500, the customer will pay 11,500. So you, the seller, you get your 10,000 complete. The delivery company gets their 1,500, and the delivery company would contact the seller to arrange pickup of the item that has been paid for and delivered to, you know, the person buying. However, just to note, using the Flutterwave delivery partner is completely optional. You are not obligated to use that. So for example, if you already have a business that has a logistics partner that you work with, perfect, you can go ahead with that. All you need to do is at the point of setup, you set up your delivery option. So of course, because you work with them, you know how much they charge, right? So you can set up something like Lagos mainland as a broad category and then put 1,500. You can set up Lagos Island and put 1,000. You can set up maybe southeast, you know, you can list those locations, which is what a lot of our customers do, list those locations and put a flat fee. So when I'm checking out and then I select, I'll see all those options that you've listed as a business owner. So if I select Lagos Island, for example, automatically 1,000 naira will be displayed, and that's what will be added to the total cost to be paid. And then when I pay that additional amount, you as the business owner, is now up to you to settle your own delivery company with the 1,000 naira extra that has been paid. So yeah, that's how it works. It's available, but it's not compulsory for you to use them.
Right. Is there any percentage to be remitted to the Flutterwave platform for every successful business?
Yes, I mentioned 1.4% is the transaction charge. It's capped at 2,000 naira. So if the transaction is let's say it's a 1,000 naira transaction, for example, what you get is 1,000 naira less 14 naira. So that 14 naira goes to processing the transaction, and then you get everything less 14 naira.
Okay, but it just says add there that you can also make your customer pay for it. So if you choose for the customer to pay, what you will see is 1,014 naira. What the customer will say rather. So you still get your money complete. So someone's asking, will Flutterwave do the delivery for my customers anywhere?
For now, the delivery partner we have is just within Nigeria. But again, like I said, if you already have a delivery partner, all you need to do is just engage their services. So Flutterwave will just be processing the payment for that transaction. And then you can now engage, if it's GIG Logistics or DHL, whoever, to do the delivery for you in any location that they operate in.
Right. So someone is asking, can you throw more light on the visa dealathon?
So there's a list. Okay, I don't know. I can type it maybe later on after speaking. So there's a link where you can go to see the list of all the Flutterwave store merchants that are participating. So if you go and you shop on any of those merchants, I think there are about 200 of them, you would get an instant discount. That's if you use a Visa card. So for example, if the item is going for 10,000 naira, right, you're not going to pay 10,000 naira. As the person paying now, you would be paying less. However, the merchants will get their full money. So that's what I mean by Flutterwave and Visa will be bearing that discount. Okay.
Does the store support soft products like ebooks and its delivery to the customer's email?
Yes, it does. It does. We have quite a lot of authors who sell their ebooks on the platform. So yes, it does.
Okay. Someone's asking about delivery again. Says, thanks so much. I enjoyed your presentation. I actually created an online store, which is really amazing, but the delivery is not really clear, like the cost. I don't get that. Like, I mean, probably the cost of the delivery.
The cost of the delivery. So what I would suggest is if it's Dikachi, maybe you want to help me out here. If it's a bit complicated to use the Flutterwave provided delivery partner, I would suggest you can just go ahead and use yours, right? So what that means is you're selling, let's make it simple. Everything you're selling is 10,000 naira. It's a flat fee, right? That's everything you're selling is 10,000 naira for each item. Now, today, if we want to use GIG Logistics as a delivery partner, that's I, as a seller, I'm using GIG Logistics. It has nothing to do with Flutterwave now. So when I'm putting the cost of my product on Flutterwave store, I'll put product there, 10,000. Then I'll put delivery, Lagos Island, 1,500. Lagos mainland, 2,000 naira. Outside Lagos, 5,000 naira, just as an example. Now, someone goes to my store and they've seen the product they want to buy, it's 10,000 naira. Under the delivery options, they've seen those three options, right? Lagos Island, Lagos mainland, outside Lagos. They select whichever one applies to them. So if they select Lagos mainland, for example, that's 2,000 naira. So automatically what they're paying is 10,000. What they're paying is 12,000 naira. So once that payment is successful, myself, the business owner, I get a notification there's a successful transaction of 12,000 naira. Now I know that 2,000 naira on top is not my money, it's for GIG Logistics. So I call GIG Logistics or I go to their office and I pay them 2,000 and then I send my goods to the customer. I hope it's clear. So it is not a fully automated process. You still need to interface with the delivery company yourself and make the payment for them. The platform has just helped you to collect the money into your account from the customer. So you still have to manually engage the delivery company, which is what you do today if you're selling stuff on on social media or whatever it is. So yeah, I hope I was able to answer that question.
Yeah, so basically, again, what Zainab said is actually accurate. If you have two options. You can either say, okay, Flutterwave's partner handle my shipping, or you handle it yourself. Now, if you're handling it yourself, you have to then set shipping fees, like she said, for each area you deliver to. So you can do by local government, you can do by, areas, Yaba, this amount, Surulere, whatever. When the person buying puts in their delivery thing, they'll be asked to choose an area. As they're choosing areas, they see the amount for delivery for each of those areas. So any amount you set there will be added to what the thing costs. And when they pay, the whole amount is delivered to you. Then you decide how you give it to your delivery guys to go and handle delivery. So that's pretty much it. When you are handling delivery by yourself, that's it. Who's asking, do you have delivery for international transactions?
So the answer for that is no, but you can always engage, like I said, with logistics companies that do international deliveries like DHL.
Okay. A different question rather here is, I have an e-commerce site present using your payment gateway and I live in Dubai. Can you make it possible when my customer pays in dollars, I want the money to be remitted to my dollar account, while when my customer pays in Naira, for it to be remitted in my Naira account, so I can be able to withdraw dollar here in Dubai?
So we can work that out, yeah. For USD payments, we can credit either your USD wallet or your USD bank account. However, there is a minimum amount which we can use to credit your bank account, but for your wallet we can credit any amount. So what I'm trying to say is, if you want us to credit your bank account, then you need to do up to a certain threshold, and then we do the credit once, because for every of such transaction there are charges, and you don't want all the USD to be eroded by the charges. So the answer to your question is yes, it is possible.
Thank you, Zainab. Someone says, hello, I tried setting up my Flutterwave store recently, but I couldn't verify my BVN. How can I sort that out?
Okay, so just after this, send an email to hi@flutterwavego.com. We'll need details of your account and all of that, so we'll take a look at it. So the email address is hi@flutterwavego.com.
Let me also type it for you.
Okay, so there's a question here that says, we have a deeper understanding of Flutterwave. Could you link me up with your Ugandan / East African team? Yes, we can. Please send an email to growth@flutterwavego.com and we'll do that. So growth, GROWTH @flutterwavego.com, and then we'll do an e-intro to our Ugandan team.
Okay, Herbert, that's your answer. Thank you. Somebody else is asking, how do I use your delivery agent, and is there a price list on locations already?
Yes, so if you want to use the Flutterwave provided delivery partner, there is a listing, I think, available. Once you select that option, you should see it.
Okay. As regards the visa dealathon, how can one set up the process? And is there a dedicated video clip to guide one through the process?
Okay, so I'm guessing you're talking about becoming a seller on the visa dealathon. So if that's the case, then for now, we're not taking new sellers. However, we have more initiatives coming up during the course of the rest of the year to help drive transactions. So for that one, we already have merchants that are set up. So we're not signing up new for now. That could still change. If it changes, then we'll definitely send an email out to all of our Flutterwave store merchants to let them know how they can participate.
Okay. Someone is asking, I'm interested in selling medical devices on Flutterwave platform. How do I set it up and what are the requirements?
So it's basically the same thing, or I played a short video. What I can do is also share maybe the link to that YouTube video to show you how to go about setting up your Flutterwave store. So it's not any different from setting up a store and selling other products. Just go ahead, create your Flutterwave account, and then set up your store. So we can share the link to the YouTube video. Or you can just go to YouTube and type in Flutterwave. You see all our videos available.
Right. So someone's asking, what's the minimum amount for the dollars?
So it all depends on the date of that particular transaction. Oh, you're talking about the minimum.
Yeah, like the threshold.
Send us an email, yeah, because our settlement team normally changes that. Send us an email again, hi@flutterwavego.com, so that we can confirm the current minimum required. I don't want to give a figure now because I know that that figure changes sometimes. So hi@flutterwavego.com.
Okay, we'll send that then. Okay, this person just said, please don't forget to send a list of the stores you said you would drop for 10%.
Yeah. So let me see if I can type it now while Dikechim is asking.
Okay, let me answer this. Can one sell security items such as bullet-resistant vests, security boots, or on the Flutterwave store? Yes, you can. It's a store where you, as long as whatever it is you're selling is legal, you can list it on the store. Any item, what matters is that it's legal. That's all. And when I mean legal, it's legal in the jurisdiction you're selling it in, because something might be legal in the US, but it's not legal in Ghana, for instance. So you wouldn't be able to sell it in those places. But if it's legal in the jurisdiction where you're selling it, there are no issues at all. Any more questions? Okay, someone asked, how do you list your service? So the question about how do you list your service, instead of using a Flutterwave store like Zainab answered already, it's better to use things like payment links, because payment links are used a lot by freelancers, service businesses, because it's not a tangible product you are selling. You just need a way for somebody to pay for a service, which means that you can create payment link for each of your services. So, or you can create a payment link that doesn't have any listed service, doesn't have any fixed amount. The person paying decides what amount and what currency they are paying in. That's the beauty of the payment link. So for instance, you can create one payment link, send it to someone in Nigeria, someone in Kenya, someone in the US. If the person in the US is paying with a dollar card, they just change the currency to dollar, put the appropriate amount there, and pay you. The person in Ghana gets the same, changes to cedis, and pays you as well. And while the person in Ghana can be paying you from their, say, mobile money in Ghana, the person in the US is paying from their card in the US, same payment link. So on the Flutterwave dashboard, if you go on the left side, under the tools for collecting money, you'll see payment links there. So you just create it. There are also videos on our YouTube. If you go on YouTube, the Flutterwave, we have all kinds of videos for how these things work and how to set them up. So please check those out. And if you have any questions at any time about anything, again, our email is hi@flutterwavego.com, which is hi@flutterwave, after the flutterwavego.com. So Flutterwave, hi@flutterwavego.com, and we will help with that. There's a question here, how can you run sales on the store? So for now, the sales module where you run like a discount is we just built it freshly, starting with the Visa Dealathon. So we'll be rolling it out for everybody to be able to use, and for you to be able to configure whatever sales you want to do on your store and use it at any time. So in the coming weeks, we'll roll it out for everybody. So please watch out for that. Again, please look at the chat. Zainab put in the list of the visa dilathon, and she also put in the email address to email if you have any sort of inquiry, any sort. We are going to take care of it there. I don't think there's any unanswered question left. Are there any more questions, guys? Okay, sorry, I just saw a question. Someone that asked earlier. It came from the marketing part where it said what does it mean to can you explain more about focusing on the human side? So essentially, when it comes to marketing, focusing on the human side is actually very important. Think about it this way. When you see a Nike ad, you don't see Nike telling you this shoe has more foam than the rest. This shoe has 10,000 laces and all of that. No, they're not really talking about the product. The human side is what they're talking about. They're talking about LeBron James. They're talking about Serena Williams. They're talking about human beings. They're talking about athletic excellence. So focusing on the human side is focusing on the people who use it, the people who they look up to. How do you make them feel? So Nike focuses on making you feel like, I can be whatever I want to be. I can succeed. I can make it. And that's the human story to focus on. I remember clearly when the Apple Watch was announced, the new watch was announced last year during the Apple event. The video for introducing it was all the ways Apple Watch has had come to people's rescue. So from people who had a fall at home and they were alone, older people, and their watch called emergency response to pick them up and stuff like that. They could tell you how the watch band is made from an exotic rubber and all of that. But instead, they tell you how it changes your life as a person. So that's what it means to focus on the human angles. So instead of telling me, say for instance, you sell food, let's bring it home. Say you sell food, you sell rice. Now, the usual thing is to say, oh, our rice is this, is that. But the human angle is when you do as little as posting testimonials, people who ate the food and said they liked it. Now, I'm seeing you more from that light. The human angle is, I buy food for you from you for the first time. In my delivery, you dropping a note thanking me. Say, you know what, people like you are the reason why we do what we do. We appreciate you very much. We hope that this food goes beyond just being food for you. We hope that it helps you and, all of that. I feel better because now I'm not thinking about just the food. I'm thinking about you because you are thinking about me, right? So the human focus is about thinking about your products, your marketing from a point of view of I'm talking to somebody. So I'm not trying to sell to you. Instead, I'm trying to understand you, make you my friend. So you buying from me is a byproduct of that. Of course, big companies like Eric was pointing out, big companies do it by all those nice emotional ads. But small businesses can't afford those nice emotional ads. Instead, it's the touch points. If your food is going to be delayed, pick up the phone, call, say, you know what, you ordered, your food was supposed to get to you at 2 p.m., but I'm really, really sorry. It will get to you at 3 p.m. because of this, that. If I was going to get angry before, I might not get angry as much anymore because you chose to maintain that human touch. And then I see you, I'm more understanding. I think one of the biggest problems we have in business is that a lot of small businesses try to come across as big businesses because we think, the bigger we show them we are, the more they tend to see us from a big point of view. No, but people know big business and know small businesses. They know the difference between a McDonald's and an Instagram vendor. They know. So there's no need to try to be too impersonal. Just be personal. We focus on human beings, basically. I believe that we've answered all the questions very well. Someone has their hands raised. Okay. Hi, Adifarakan. Okay. I think that was a mistake. Thank you very much, guys, for attending so far. Happy that all the questions have been answered. So we are going to send Eric's presentation as well as any other useful links that you need for every single thing. Thank you. We're happy that you guys come out to be with us every time that we do this, and you come out to chat with us, you come out to listen to what we have to say. We're happy to just connect this way. So thank you very much. We'll do this again in a fortnight. Thank you.